Hola, hola, bienvenidos. Hoy vamos a hablar de el imperfecto, de los verbos que terminan con ER o IR, ¿sí? El imperfecto de ER, IR, el imperfecto que es otra manera de decir el pasado. Okay, if this is your first video about the past tense, I recommend looking at the first video, el imperfecto, for verbs that end in AR. We're going to talk a little bit about what it means. And so I'm just going to do a quick recap here. El imperfecto is one of two past tenses. Remember, there are two past tenses. One is called el imperfecto, and the other is the pretérito. So in this one, we're going to talk about el imperfecto, and the imperfecto translates as something that you used to do, something somebody was doing, okay, or something that or was doing or was happening, something that was happening when something else interrupted it, or also something that was done repeatedly or habitually. Like, we always used to hang out, okay? I don't know if I'm spelling this correctly, but you get the idea, repeatedly or habitually, okay? So, el imperfecto. So we talked last week about how to conjugate verbs, right? Change verbs to match subject and tense. We talked in the last video about how to conjugate verbs that end in AR. So today we're going to talk about how to conjugate verbs that end in ER or IR. All right. So for example, the verb comer, which ends in ER, or the verb vivir, which ends in IR. Okay. So we're going to make our chart. All right, we have our subjects, yo, tú, usted, él, ella. We have nosotros. Sorry about the sound of the stylus. I'm back to my Apple Pencil, and it's very loud. I forgot my other stylus at home. And I'm on the road today. Our last one is ustedes, ellos, and ellas. So if I want to say I used to eat, I'm not going to say yo comaba because that would be weird and would not make sense. I'm going to say yo comía. And yes, I made that line very, very big because that is a tilde, and tildes are important, people. So when you copy this down, make sure you remember that tilde. That tilde represents emphasis, right? So my verb is comía, not comía, not comía, comía. I need to emphasize that I, comía. Yo comía mucho macaroni con queso cuando era niña. When I was a girl, I ate so much mac and cheese. Tú, ¿qué comías? ¿Qué comías tú? ¿Comías también macarones con queso? ¿O comías perritos calientes? Usted, él o ella is going to be comía. Okay, comía. Sí, ella siempre comía sándwiches de jamón con queso. Nosotros íbamos, right? Nosotros comíamos todas las noches en familia. It's very important to my parents to eat as a family. Comíamos todas las noches en familia. Ustedes o ellos o ellas comían. Sí, mis amigos comían en McDonald's mucho. Yo no podía, pero mis amigos comían en McDonald's o Hardee's, porque soy de Minnesota, Hardee's. Carl's Jr. out west. So this comían. See? So all of these endings are actually going to be exactly the same for vivir, right? Instead, we would get rid of that IR, right? Just like with comer, we got rid of the ER. Get rid of that IR and add on my new ending. Yo vivía. As I just mentioned, yo vivía en Minnesota. Ya saben eso. Vivía. Tú vivías. ¿Dónde vivías? Where did you used to live? ¿Dónde vivías? Okay. Mi abuela vivía en Michigan. Okay. Nosotros vivíamos en una casa humilde. No era muy grande, no era muy pequeña tampoco, pero vivíamos en una casa bonita. And then vivían, ¿sí? Vivían. Mis primos también vivían en Michigan. ¿Sí? Vivían. So that's it, right? I'm going to take off that ending. I'm going to put on my new ending, right? So let's do a couple of examples. See? It's always good to have some examples. So we're going to start with yo. And then let's take, so our verb is going to be escribir, to write. So remember, the first thing I do is I take off that IR ending and I add on my new ending, which would be ia. So escribía, yo escribía poemas. I used to write poems, which is really funny because I don't really like poetry, but I used to write poems quite often. Yo escribía poemas. Poemas, not poemos, poemas. Okay, two. Let's pick another verb here. We're going to use beber. Okay, beber, to drink. All right, I have my verb. I'm going to take off that ER ending, and I'm going to add on my new ending for two. So it would be bebías. Two bebías Mountain Dew. Okay, two bebías Mountain Dew. Yo no bebía Mountain Dew, porque no podía. Mis padres no permitían Mountain Dew en la casa. Entonces, vamos a continuar. ¿Qué tal? Continuamos con usted. Right? Remember the difference between tú and usted? Tú would be familiar, talking to friends. Usted would be a little bit more formal, a little bit more polite. Maybe you're talking about a teacher. Okay? So, usted, we use esconder. Esconder is to hide. Esconder. So I'm going to get rid of my ER ending, and I'm going to put on my new ending, which is ia. Okay, so usted escondía el examen. You hid the test. I mean, really, because los niños copian todo el tiempo. Entonces usted escondía el examen. You used to hide the tests. Continuamos. Nosotros. Let's do nosotros. ¿Qué tal perder? Perder means to lose. Perder. Nosotros perdíamos la paciencia. We lost our patience. Perdíamos la paciencia. ¿Sí? Perdíamos la paciencia. And then we'll do mis tíos, no sé, mis tíos, and let's pick a verb. Leer, okay, we would get rid of our ending, get rid of the ER ending, and we would have mis tíos leían ficción. I mean, why not? Who doesn't read fiction? Ficción. Mis tíos leían ficción. See? So please note, super important, this tilde is on every single one. There is no exception. And on every single one, it is always on the I. Okay? Always. It's always an I with a tilde. It's never going to be on the A. It's always going to be on that I. Escribía, bebía, se escondía, perdíamos, leían. See? So this is ER, verbs that end in ER, or verbs that end in IR. Okay, now we're going to take a look at our second common irregular. So here now we have an irregular. Last week, or in the last video, we talked about el verbo irregular ir. And this week, we're going to talk about el verbo irregular ser. Okay, ser means to be. To be, as in to be permanent, to be a characteristic, to be with a description, to be with a job, okay? Ser is to be. So let's make our chart. Ser is completely irregular. It doesn't really follow any of the rules. So if my subject is yo, my verb is era, okay? So we say this a lot with the imperfecto. We'll be saying like, cuando yo era niña, when I was a child, or era muy traviesa. I was really kind of wild and I would get into trouble. Era traviesa. So if it's two, it would be eras. You'll see, like we have a pattern here, right? Two ends ending in S. Eras. Tu eras mi mejor amiga. You were my best friend. Tu eras mi mejor amiga. Usted, o él, o ella. Tenemos era. Sí, él era bien educado. He was really well behaved. Era bien educado. Nosotros is going to be a little bit special. Nosotros, porque we are going to change our emphasis, right? We don't want to say éramos, we want to say éramos. Ooh, look at that tilde. I hope that you can see it. I hope you can see it well enough to copy it down. Éramos. Nosotros éramos pequeños. We were little. Éramos pequeños. Ustedes, ellos, o ellas is going to be eran. ¿Sí? Eran muy buenos estudiantes. En el kinder eran estudiantes perfectos, pero ahora que están en la secundaria, ¿sí? Eran. Right, so this is our irregular del verbo ser, and then also we went over ER and IR verbs. Please let me know if you have any questions. Hasta luego.